This region around the Great Lakes has been called a heartland. When it comes to agriculture, there's hardly an area in the world that compares.
Everybody, just hold on. I don't know what we're going to have here.
There's a lot of self-proclaimed geniuses out there that know the national yield, but they're all wrong.
Managed money, piling in.
Double digits higher.
So at this point, we're in kind of uncharted territory.
There's a lot of money on the sidelines, so that was a crazy one.
That's what brings the viewers back. That a boy.
Hello, good morning, and welcome, everyone. It is Friday, March 6th, and this is the AgYield War Room. I, of course, am AgYield's marketing manager, everyone's favorite backup host, and 2028 presidential candidate, Jack Coakley. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to join the discussion. We're always answering your questions and comments at info@agyield.com. Let's shoot it over to Brian with some overnight numbers.
All right, thanks, Jack. Continued strength overnight. May corn up 4 3/4 at 458 1/4. May beans up 10 3/4 at 1190, and May Chicago wheat up 17 3/4 at 601 1/2. Crude oil currently in the front end, April, is currently over $87 a barrel at 87.48, up 8%. So we'll see what the day has in store for us.
That seems like the day it has in store for us: crude, corn, and world conflict. With that, we'll send it over to Dustin to talk about it more.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Yeah, obviously things continue to kind of get a little bit more concerning for energy markets. We've got crude oil trading up to $88 a barrel overnight in the April contract. And I do think that that's a big part of what's driving our prices higher. It's just, there's a positive correlation in the past. D's 26 corn traded at 482 overnight, it's above last year's high for the D's 25 contract. Last year's high was Feb 19th, and there's been a lot of discussion about what could have been done if more bushels were sold there. This is the time to really start thinking about it. I mean, this is the first print that I'm seeing where you're starting to see a lot more growers get toward where they could see a path to profitability under normal yields. Now, it's not happening for no reason, though, too. I mean, nitrogen prices are obviously skyrocketing. It's, when everyone else is fearful, how far do you want to step in and take advantage of that versus what you knew a month ago? That's kind of the question. And I'm not saying go out and sell your whole crop. It's done. I do think, though, we should start to plug in some sort of safeguard measures, now that we're at levels that we can start to pencil profitability.
Certainly. Thanks for that. Justin, anything to add on top of that?
Yeah, I mean, to Dustin's just adding to that, D's 26 corn, it's finally getting to a level that we've been very patient. Hedging is, our customers know we've been focused on beans a little bit because of the ratio. Corn's finally getting to a price. Volatility is finally getting to a price where there's some things to do. So we put out some new recommendations overnight. I think this is a great setup versus what we had, a couple months ago. So I've been saying I'm cautiously optimistic. I love to see these moves happen. I love to see the option volatility go up. I love the fact that we rallied into crop insurance and have highly subsidized products. I think the setup's really good to have a decent or even good outcome for a lot of growers. So it's refreshing to see. Obviously, things can change on a dime here, politically or geopolitically. So I think you have to take advantage of some of these things. You have to have a game plan. And I think if you look at where crop insurance is, where farm bill is, and some of these things, I think you can do some things that set you up pretty well going into planting. So, I feel like 2 months ago it was kind of like, we're all screwed. There's nothing to do. I don't think that's the case right now. So, 480, we're at 482 is the high in D's corn. Contract highs are, I think, 487, and that was back in 2024. So the highest this contract has been basically ever. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, Thanks for that, Justin. Let's set up everyone's favorite beast in the East, Mr. Ben Wigington, and get his thoughts. Ben, what do you got?
Yeah, I like what we're seeing price wise. Just quick to point out here that roughly 48 hours ago, wheat was 40 cents lower than it's trading now, 35, and corn was 18 cents lower than where it's trading. So that's the spirit of volatility, right? I think there's some genuine concern out there. You don't know when this is going to end in Iran. It's obviously very much tied to crude oil. And I think you have to be disciplined and look at your matrix and set acceptable risk parameters should there be a rug pull here. Technically, all three markets look really good. The profile looks good. Corn is coming up against some pretty significant numbers between 57 and 59 on the long-term market profile. I think that if you can get above that and stick it, I think you're going to draw in some longer time frame money that will look at this as an place to put some money on the long side. But this is a pretty critical juncture on the profile. We did a really good job on the shorter terms yesterday, overcoming 53, and we'll see if we can stick that today. So feels like there's a lot of uncertainty, and we're heading into our planning season. We talk about the geopolitical risks, but we have to have a good safrinha crop. We've got to get good planning for U.S. crop. We've built a massive demand base in corn that looks like some of those acres could be in jeopardy. So maybe the sunshine is finally shining on the grains a little bit. So we'll see. I think the next few days will be a better tell on what the intent of the longer term players are, if they think that there's some reason to put some money after the grains.
Gotcha. Yeah. With that being said, who's someone interrupt? No?
Yeah, Jack, just before you get done, I do want to make a comment on the scholarship competition.
Yeah, go for it.
So all of our listeners, if you have kids that are in college, it's really a no-brainer to sign up for this. It's a simulated game, and the first place prize is going to get at least $10,000. So just want to throw that out there, like real scholarship dollars. I think it'd be crazy if you didn't sign up. So we talk about prizes and things. I don't think people realize how much scholarship dollars our partners are throwing towards this, including ourselves. So it's literally no fee to enter. It's 6 weeks. You learn how to market and you get real money. So, a lot of these scholarships that I've seen out there, they throw a big deal at, $1,000 or $1,500. These are real prizes here. So I do want to throw that out there.
Absolutely. And if you're looking to learn more or to sign up, you can head over to agyieldnextgen.org. Ryland, let's talk about the meats.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think everybody's trying to figure out how the meat markets are gonna how they're going to fit into this whole situation with energy prices rallying, corn rallying. I mean, we saw a little bit of a deviation yesterday. Fats were higher, feeders were lower. And just like we stated yesterday, it just kind of feels like feeder markets taking notice of this rally in corn. And overall, it just feels like maybe the caution level is very high, I would say, if all of a sudden we get into a big bull market in corn and this lasts for a while. So I think you may see a little bit of a mad dash for some protection here on the feeder side. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. It has been kind of a nice little rally here over the past couple days, kind of back up to some intermediate moving averages around 20-day. So just feels like we could see a little back and forth. I mean, at this point, like I said, I feel like there's a little bit of confusion as to how this is all going to play out on the meat side of things, but beef prices started to stabilize after that recent huge jump in choice and select, and packers so far really haven't come after the cattle at all. I mean, we've seen some 235 to 238 bids getting passed here and offers sitting around 242 to 244. So I'd imagine Trey's going to pick up pretty quickly today, especially if we do see a lower board. But overall, I just feel like the market's pretty cautious here. And on the hog side of things, we pretty much took back all of Wednesday's gains, kind of finished on the weaker end. Managed money is pretty heavily long this market. fundamentals have been really strong. Cash market's been very firm. As we said, belly market has just been kind of the rock, I think, that everybody's focus revolves around. But yeah, just at this point, I think there's a little bit more concern that we're going to see some managed money flow out and maybe into some outside commodities. So maybe the rising tide raises all ships. We didn't see a full scale risk off here in hogs, during some of this. During some of the headlines over the past couple days. So it just kind of feels like maybe a little bit more back and forth trade here while hoping the dust kind of settles. So we'll see how this shapes up.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Ryland. Well, guys, we've made it another week in the books, which means it's time for everyone's segment with my personal role model and personal hero, Mr. Brian Williams. Brian, Fun Fact Friday.
Thanks, Jack. Happy Friday, everybody, and happy National Oreo Cookie Day. Oreos began back in 1912. Americans eat billions of Oreos every year. So somewhere, some way, someone is twisting an Oreo cookie open and chomping on it down.
Oh, yeah.
So over 500 billion Oreos have been sold. If you stacked all the Oreos produced in a single year, that's 40 billion. They circle the earth 5 times.
Oh.
Well, every Oreo has exactly 90 ridges, 12 flowers, 12 dashes, and 12 dots. So do some homework today when you get home and eat that Oreo. Studies show almost everyone has a special way to eat Oreos. 80% of them twist them, 5% scrape the white filling, 4% dunk them whole, and the perfect time to dunk is 3 to 4 seconds, no more, or it'll get all soggy. And the rest just bite them like monsters. Here are the strangest flavors ever invented. Wasabi Oreos, China.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah. Here you go, Ryland. Hot chicken wing Oreos.
Doesn't sound bad.
Fruit punch Oreos.
Okay.
Candy corn Oreos for Halloween. And green tea Oreos in Japan. The largest Oreo ever made was over 157 pounds.
Whoa.
Good luck on that one.
Yeah.
And lastly, the world record for the most Oreos eaten in 1 minute is 34 cookies. And I think Jack might have a picture of that world record.
Let's take a look.
Oh, boy.
Let's see.
I mean, I do love Oreos.
So,
I want to try the chicken wing one, though. That sounds great. What's the filling in that?
Buffalo sauce.
Hopefully it's chicken.
Yeah. Minced chicken.
Yeah.
Minced chicken filling.
I still am trying to get this Oreo down right now. But yeah, have a great Friday. Have an Oreo today.
Lovely.
Some milk.
Yeah. I'll have to look for these buffalo chicken Oreos. If I see them at the grocery store, I'll bring them in. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for that. And with that, we'll wrap for the day. As Justin mentioned, we got this national scholarship competition going on. You can sign up if you're at a accredited ag program at a university or college. You can sign up at the link below. Get the War Room Report. War Room Report is the War Room show on steroids for super fans, right? It's an exclusive newsletter and video library for people that love the grain market. So be sure to subscribe to that as well. We appreciate everyone that tunes in on a daily basis. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like or subscribe right here on our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it helps us get our show out to a larger audience. So thanks to everyone that tunes in on a daily basis, like Mr. Nick Fry, who says that's a lot of diabetes, which he's correct about Oreos. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for that, Nick. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday. The War Room is presented by AgYield, a risk management partner of American grain farmers for over 50 years. Looking for more in-depth analysis? Check out the War Room Report. Our team's knowledge and expertise delivered straight to your inbox every weekday. Each report delivers key market-moving headlines, critical weather updates, USDA report breakdowns, and exclusive video content. All for $50 a month. And most importantly, 10% of every subscription will go directly to support the AgYield NextGen Foundation, a nonprofit investing in agricultural education and the future of farming. To sign up for the War Room Report, check out the link in the description or learn more at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.